Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Talking Space Pixels. I'm Anthony, also known in EVE as Oramus Hrothgar.
And I'm Clyde, also known in EVE as Clyde Gibson.
And this is our very first episode. Isn't it exciting?
Yeah, it's very exciting. We're probably going to sound horrible.
Sound horrible indeed. So anyway, what Talking Space Pixels is going to be about, basically we're going to be mostly an EVE related podcast. Because that's our main game, but we'll kind of venture off into other games every once in a while. Say a huge update comes in, whenever that happens, we'll go into that, or just to break up the monotony and not always be talking about EVE.
And 90% of the time we should be playing space related games. So
90% of the time. Every once in a while I might get bored. Does not look like you made me fleet commander or something. I can't warp us. There's a nice blooper to start off with. So, yeah, I can't warp you for some reason. Oh well, just follow me into warp. Or warp to me from fleet or whatever. Anyway, this is a video podcast, but also we're going to be posting a SoundCloud of it too. Just, not everybody wants to watch the video, and the video is mostly for background noise, just so because podcasts are fun and all, but you don't really. Sometimes it's nice to watch something. We'll run a mission, or eventually, we're going to get out into the dangerous stuff and maybe do some fleets. But we'll talk about that later. I've landed, Clyde. So
I'm warping.
The mining is just kind of this first episode. The video is not going to be all that exciting.
Yeah, I think we should move into our next topic, which is we're going to talk about our gaming careers. Anthony or Miss, if you wanted to do
that. So as far as gaming goes, I started off on the NES, which is still the greatest system, I think. But so I started off on the NES and with the typical Mario Brothers and played with my younger brother and everything like that. Upgraded. I was a Nintendo guy for a while, at N64 and everything like that. Then the Xbox came around, and that's whenever I really got hardcore into gaming with Halo. I had my LAN parties and everything like that. From there, it just kind of grew and grew. I'm a huge fan of Rooster Teeth, which also kind of got me more into gaming and trying to make videos and stuff like that, and which I kind of realized a little bit late in life that this is, making some type of content is what I wanted to do. But so I'm actually a mechanical designer.
As am I.
Yeah, we both are. Me and Clyde were actually old college roommates, which is how we know each other. Which is why our gaming, whenever we do gaming, our stories are kind of going to collide with each other because we basically do the same thing. But that really sums me up. Is I play on the Xboxes now. I've never really been a PlayStation kind of guy, so I'm mostly Xbox. Actually, I'm more converting into PC gaming. PC Master Race. I just can't afford it right now. So both of our video qualities are kind of going to be iffy.
If you want to donate a video card, we're fully welcome to accept that.
Yeah, if anybody wants to give $1,200 for a new gaming rig or anything like that, it'd be great.
Yeah, I'll go into my gaming career. I started out on Sega Genesis, which I know is kind of an off thing. Went into PlayStation, played PlayStation all the way up until Xbox came out. Eventually graduated to the 360 and was also playing LAN games. Funny enough, our circles are the people we played LAN games with all intersected. It's just that we never met each other before. I guess a lot of since that I've been playing Xbox a lot and recently moved over to playing a lot of PC games. Play small PC games that don't require a lot of power when you're younger. But I guess some of my favorite genres that I like to play, I'm a really big RTS fan and real-time strategy. I like Age of Empires, games of that nature. on console, I'm a really big FPS fan as well. But I do like anything from RPGs. I cannot stand platforming games though,
God no.
which no, I just can't. My wife loves it, but I can't. um, as far as that, I mean, we just been. I kind of played Eve with Anthony. I kind of quit on him for a while.
Because he's a dick.
Yeah, had other things come up. Was going to school again. We're back into it. How long has it been? 3 months? 6 months?
Well,
Probably 3 months.
I don't know how long you've been playing. I've been playing for 2 years now, so.
No, I mean, since I've been back, I think it's been around 3 months already.
Yeah, probably. I think so. Well, I mean, if you look at your Brave history, I mean, you joined Brave right whenever you started, but
Yeah.
I think anyway. So that would really tell you how long it's been,
Well, that kind of goes into our Eve careers.
which coincide
We
a lot.
Yeah, we both joined Brave about 3 months ago, I would imagine. As our first, that's our first nullsec really push that we've done. We were Care Bear miners. I mean, for the longest time. Ormus has done a lot more things than I have.
Yeah, like I said, I've been playing for straight up for 2 years now, which in that time I've done a bit of everything. From mining. Me and Clyde both started out as miners. We actually were we were your typical newbies into Eve, in which if anybody who's watching Eve knows, we were cringeworthy. We were terrible. We were miners. We joined the game because we enjoyed the mining, and then we were scared to fight anybody.
And I think our biggest push, we started our own corporation, a couple days in? I mean, but we were together coming into the game, so I think that's why. I mean, we were there. We how many people did we end up getting in our corporation when we first started?
Oh,
I think it's like
6 or 7.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that big, but we were able to do contracts, and we were making what we thought was a lot of ISK at that time.
10,000 ISK was a lot of money. That was dank ISK, yo. But yeah, but we were running it. We were actually pretty successful at running it, like you said, and we stayed friends with those guys for a while. I think pretty much all logged off. I think friend logs on every once in a while, but Viper and all the original people they're gone. But so we did that for a while, and then we tried to
we merged into another corporation,
and that's when it went downhill.
Yeah.
We merged with some more real life friends we had from college, and they had a corp, but who were also Care Bears in mind and did mission running and stuff like that, and we tried to combine, and then everybody all of a sudden just decided to quit at once, which is
we dropped like flies, and I was one of those.
Yeah,
but
he was. I'm the only one that stuck around. I've been playing forever. Well, not forever. I mean, I'm still new in some of the more bitter vet eyes, but I've been around for a while now, which kind of. I guess I have a little bit more to tell than Clyde will, because he took a year break. But after everybody quit on me and everything like that, I started to, I kind of care about around. I mined. I did missions. I eventually got up to where I could do level 4 missions, and I just was grinding at those. Then I watched Wingspan TT do his bomber videos, and that's kind of what actually made me get. I was actually almost to quitting too. A year and a half into the game, but I watched those videos, and that really, I was like, I want to go live in nullsec now. So I trained up, and I did a lot of nullsec exploring and stuff like that. And I finally joined Brave Newbies, which is whenever I finally convinced Clyde to come back.
what was it, like a week or 2 weeks after you joined? You convinced me.
Yeah, because
or was it a little longer?
I was sending him emails, saying, "Holy crap, dude! I just killed 300 million worth of assets with this fleet," and
And in my mind, that was a lot because that was about all the ISK I had
yeah.
when I left.
So,
But yeah, we both went out to Eve. Now this was all before the catch problems.
yeah,
It was pretty much a week before.
we joined right before for a week life was good. We were all roaming and crap, and then catch exploded.
I will say what stuck with me is I did not get killed on the way down because I ended up having people that were, well, I don't really remember the guy's name. I sent him a thank you, but he came all the way from catch to help me go down from wherever I was located at the time. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. We did the move. We're in Fountain now. Haven't really been on in the last week or two, really. Maybe just to log on and do some testing for this podcast. But other than that, we haven't really been on.
Yeah. Oh man, we forgot to mention our cherry pops.
Yeah. I guess you can go first since yours was first.
Yeah, I've pulled mine up. Whenever actually Clyde was still playing, we were still in Ormus and Clyde mining operations, and I got a wild hair, and I was like, I want to go see what low-sec is like. So I have it on my screen right now. This lovely, pretty much like okay, let's see, this was my PvP ship at the time. 125 millimeter railgun Tech 1s with anti-miner charges, plate armoring, and also so I had buffer tank and active tank and a Weber. It was no rigs. It was a catalyst too. It was oh man, I look at this now and I'm like, wow. And I went in there and within 2 seconds I had my first death and pod kill, and that was my introduction into it. In which after that, I became a scared little Care Bear and never went back. But
what was your ship? What was their ship cost? Lost, I mean.
Oh, the total loss. Oh, it was probably.
Yes, lost.
It was like maybe chunk change. 1.7 mil for the ship, and let's go back to here losses. Which, if you can see, I've done a little bit better for myself here. Still not the top player, but destroying 8.78 billion is pretty good still. My pod was a whole 55K. Like that's it. Well. So, which is, I blow up a lot more than that now, which
is more fun than we realized when we were back at that point.
Yeah.
I'll go into mine. I actually didn't lose my pod cherry until I joined Brave Newbies. I think it was like 2 days after we joined and got settled in catch. I lost it. I lost it in a crucifier. I was doing an EWAR fleet. At the time, I didn't realize that I had implants all up in my pod. My pod ended up costing around 167 mil at the time. And of course, it needed to happen because otherwise I wasn't going to undock every time there's a fight.
Yeah,
I mean,
now
I had to lose that.
Now both of us, we got several jump clones all over the place. They're empty, so we can just boom. But I did that too once. Was lose my main training clone. I was like, crap, forgot. But that's hilarious. I think that's great. The first pod you lose is like go big or go home.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty much after that point, I had nothing to lose. So, because I just lost it.
Now you're just getting slowly space poor.
Yeah.
Because it's more fun to blow stuff up than make the ISK.
And also, we keep moving every 5 minutes in Brave, so
Oh yeah, the whole catch to Defson and
Iridia. Yeah.
which I mean everybody knows where Brave is because it's Brave's the most popular people to kill. But we haven't, like we said, we haven't really done much fleet stuff yet for a while. But it's been I've always had fun in Eve, and Clyde is now finally having fun after abandoning me.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's another thing we left out. In the process of me leaving originally, I came back for, a month? And we were going to go do faction warfare, and then I kind of unsubbed again.
Oh yeah, you probably shouldn't have bring that up, because now I can harass you again for the 20th time. Yeah, this guy, he resubs and was like, yeah, we're going to start playing. I want to get into PvP more. And I was like, okay, let's get into PvP.
And at the time, we were living in Amar territory. And we ended up moving all the way to Galent Space.
Yeah, I had grinded up enough skill points to get level 4 missions in Amar, and I think I was running them too. And he comes in and is like, I don't like the Amar, their backstory sucks, I want to go fight for Galente. So what I do is I like, alright, just if it'll keep you playing, I move all of our assets with my freighter and everything in my Orca, and I get up there, I grind missions. I'm like, okay, we can't even get into faction warfare because our standing isn't high enough with Galente, because we've been running again, with the enemy Amar. So I grind missions. I finally get, I started a corp just so that our standing would be a little bit better, and trained all this stuff and get us into faction warfare, and he never even fights. Like he unsubs right when I get us joined. I'm like, you son of a.
I don't even remember why I did it. Was I in school at the time again?
I don't know. You've always complained you don't have enough time, but it was, you didn't want to play the subscription or anything like that. But, I get us into faction warfare, and boom, gone. Which was, in fact, this is the time that I actually got my first technical kill mail, because he left and I said, screw it, I'm still going to do this. And I went out and tried to do solo, which I apparently suck at solo. I lost a few Tristans, but that's how I got my first technical kill mail, because I did 90% of the damage. But I got in a 1v1 fight at a Plex, and I got him 90% of the way down. He ran away and got killed by somebody else on the gate. So technically it was my kill mail, but I don't really count it. But yeah, that you made me so mad. I was like, no, you can't. No, Clyde.
Oh.
Now he's back, and if he unsubs now, I'm going to drive up to where he lives and kick the shit out of him. So.
Well, I guess that's something else we should mention. For the last couple of years, we both lived in Iowa. You moved to Illinois, so we're about a 3 to 4 hour separation in distance.
Which I don't care. I'll still drive up there and kick your ass. Especially, see now if he does it now, not only was that his idea, him moving up to Galente Space to do faction warfare, because Amar is just too bad at peoples, but this was his idea too, to do the podcast in Eve. So if all of a sudden he's like, I don't feel like playing Eve anymore, after so much time I've invested in this, I'll kill you. That's what'll happen, Clyde, is I'll kill you.
I don't know. I mean, recently I haven't been playing Eve. It's just I've been playing a lot of Steam games. I don't know.
Yeah, because coincidentally we're doing this right at the Steam Summer Sale.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as far as, like we said, this is an introductory video. We've been spending a lot of time getting this all prepared, so we actually haven't been able to play Eve. We have nothing to, I haven't been in a fleet in like a month. But on our next episodes, we'll tell you some Eve news and everything like that. And, because eventually, because Brave is desperate for FCs, I'm going to go into the FC program and make my own content.
One thing we haven't noted is if you're not an Eve player, I know we've been talking about it, but if for some reason you're listening or watching our podcast and you're not an Eve player, first of all, You need to get in a trial and at least play it. It's going to be one of the hardest learning curves that you can imagine, but you need to find someone to talk to if you join it. A quick explanation of Eve would be, I don't know, it's just a massive spaceship game where you can pretty much do anything. I mean, I really can't explain it a good way.
It's an MMO. I mean, that's its classification. It's an MMO, but it's an MMO where you can do absolutely anything. You want to be a Care Bearer, as we were, which it means you avoid conflict. You just fight the AI if you do any fighting, which would be, PvE. It's PvE. Has all kinds of PvE opportunities, mining like we're doing on the screen now, for doing missions, hauling stuff, etc. But then there's also the PvP side. You can scam people for billions of ISK. You can join into a company. You can be spy. Like, there's these huge nullsec alliances which people are backstabbing each other all the time. And like Clyde said, it's not a learning curve. It's a learning cliff. It's a hard game to get into, but once you get into it, it's great. It really is, and the community is awesome. So.
And that's another thing we missed out on. We stayed and played the game because it was us, and we created our own corporation, and we talked. I mean, not over the mic most of the time, but with our crew, our corp mates. But joining Brave is a completely different monster. I mean, we're talking about third-party software all over the wazoo. I mean, we didn't even know this stuff existed before, for the most part. And it does. I mean, if you finding a community to play with that plays your playing style in Eve changes the entire game for you.
It's true. I mean, there's people that go solo in this game and they end up unsubbing, and then there's people that go and make friends and everything like that and stay for. This game's been going on for 11, 12 years now or something like that, and there's people
Yeah, I
that've been
think
there
it was
from
just
day
the
one.
12th anniversary.
Yeah. And there's people that's been there from day one, which is, like I said, the Bitter Vet people. There's actually been, this game has made it into the news before by 300,000, real world, quote unquote, real world dollars got blown up in space because of a humongous fight with 1,500 people in one place, which is, you can't do that in any, normal game. You can't get 15,000 people coordinated enough to go into one spot and try and kill each other.
And let's be honest, I mean, that doesn't happen every day in Eve, but the small conflicts will happen all the time. And a lot of these events are sometimes planned, but a lot of times they're just accidents because something cascades.
Like,
I mean,
BR5 was because somebody forgot to make a payment.
Yeah.
On a POS or something like that, and then all of a sudden it's a complete war zone. Eve is the only game that I know where we have elected officials that go to go and talk to the actual CCP people.
Yes, we as players have representatives that talk with the game devs and try to figure out and switch problems around. I mean, that's amazing. I don't know any other game that does that.
So, but I mean, there's the people that stick around. There's people that, a lot of people, for some reason, they'll play it for 5 minutes and be like, this is too hard. But like we said, it's a learning cliff, but after you get over that cliff, it's really not that hard anymore.
I mean, I'll be honest, the tutorials in this game aren't very helpful once you get past them, other than, okay, this is how I mine, this is how I do this. I mean, they don't help you join a corp. They don't help you get involved with communities. I mean, you need to look outside of the game to find what these things.
I mean, Eve is a great game, and like I said, this is probably going to be mostly an Eve podcast, but we'll eventually, it's talking Space Pixels, not just talking Eve. So, but Eve, really is a great game, and I'll leave links in the video, in the video description, where you can get a free 21-day trial, or actually I think they increased it, but I know it's at least 21-day trial.
I think it's 30 now.
It is? Well, you can have a month free on us, and if you join, you'll also help out the podcast a little bit, and you can send a message to me or Clyde, and we'll talk to you and everything like that. and help you get into Brave if you want to get into Brave, which they accept everyone. If you have a pulse and a computer.
We don't want any PL spies, though. Stay away.
Black Legion is our major threat now, but
I know.
okay, you remember, Clyde? There's no spies in Brave. There's no
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There's no spies. There's no spies. But so if like I said, get a hold of us. I'm Oramus Hrothgar, which you probably don't know how to spell, so I might pull that up real quick. I'm Oramus Hrothgar. This is Clyde Gibson, and shoot us a message, and we'll help you out.
Yeah, I mean, we're more than willing to help you get out to Brave. I mean, heck, we might even try to do a fleet to get you out there. There's tons of people in Brave that'll drop what they're doing to come help you. I mean, I don't want it to be a completely Brave-centered podcast, but I mean, we both are in Brave. There's not a lot we could do about that.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of our conversations are going to be Brave related, which Brave newbie for life.
Yeah.
This has been episode 1 of Talking Space Pixels, which has been mostly an introductory episode to let you know what we plan on doing and everything like that. Next time we'll have a bit more stuff to talk about because we'll have time to play the game because we haven't really lately. So.
If you have any comments or want us to do a certain thing in a future episode or recording of this podcast, let us know. If you have any topics you want us to talk about or maybe some news that you want out there, please just let us know.
If you want to tell us how terrible we are, that'll be helpful too.
Yeah,
Feedback.
just leave a comment. I don't care if it's bad or good. I mean, if it's bad, we'll just shut it down and we'll know. Okay, but because then I can unsub if you say we're bad, I can just unsub and then Anthony can't hate me for it.
Yes, Anthony can because Anthony knows where you live. But anyway, this has been Talking Space Pixels, and please remember to make your regular donations to Rob the Blood God. Thank you.
Bye.